तुझे देखा तो ये जाना सनम.
She's a macaroon paglu. It was jannat for her, right? She entered every color of macaroon possible.
Crepes, the French version of our dosa. They're served often with either maple syrup, Nutella, or chocolate.
We would just have our dinner was a glass of wine, some cheese, and some bakery. That's what our dinner used to be.
जैसे कॉकोवीन. कॉकोवीन क्या है? तो तुम वेटर को बुलाओ, वो बोलेगा सर इट्स डक. हाँ, डक तो अपन खाते हैं तो लेके आओ. अरे वो बाद में पता चलता है दे कुक इट विद रेड वाइन. एक और खाओ कि सुबह उठूं ऐसे कर्टन्स करूं और आईफल टावर दिखे. वो
8 दिन था. From that day we got addicted. I said कि यार अब तो यूरोप की हर कंट्री देखनी है. Have the fondue there.
Yeah.
It's a game changing experience. It doesn't matter what you have the fondue with. 2013 का स्विट्जरलैंड, 2025 का स्विट्जरलैंड, 2025 का स्विट्जरलैंड.
Let's say your train is at 11:01. ऐसे वो जो सेकंड का काटा ऐसा मूव होता है ना, ट्रेन स्टार्ट्स.
अकॉर के वजह से तुम स्विट्जरलैंड जा रहे हो, ऐसे बोल दो. अकॉर है इसलिए तुम स्विट्जरलैंड जा रहे हो.
हाँ, नहीं होता तो फिर देखना पड़ता है यार. Actually, because of you, I have tried booking M Gallery wherever possible.
अगर अच्छा नहीं हुआ,
Dude, you see the
अगर
pictures.
अच्छा नहीं हुआ, तुम देखो.
I would recommend having number one choice as Amsterdam and Belgium on your
Of
list.
course.
खुशी देखो, खुशी देखो. He's smiling.
Flashing bright, we're on the go. Tune in now, there's so much to know. Earning bits, travel dreams we sow. All aboard the great Indian Points and Miles show. Zero to hero in the blink of an eye. Fly first class, no need to be shy. Redemption sweet, touching the sky. Award seats booked, let's give it a try. Award seats booked, let the points flow. It's all aboard the great Indian Points and Miles show. Unlocking journeys wherever you go. The sky's the limit, feel the travel mojo.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Great Indian Points and Miles Show. This is your host Aadil and this is a show where we convert your travel dreams into boarding passes. आज हमारा अंदाज कुछ अनोखा होने वाला है, कुछ अलग होने वाला है. It's going to be very Bollywood inspired. Bollywood inspired क्यों? ये देखो, ये हमारे co-founder हंस रहे हैं क्योंकि उनको एक गाना याद आ रहा है. कौन सा गाना याद आ रहा है? चलो मैं गा के सुनाता हूँ. तुझे देखा तो ये जाना सनम. क्यों ये गाना याद आ रहा है? ये जब मैं स्टार्ट करने वाला था पॉडकास्ट, धीमंत मेरे को बोलता है यार यश चोपड़ा, यार तुझे देखा तो ये जाना सनम. किसको जाना सनम, ये भी तो बताओ.
नहीं, again, I am 43 years old now. So my memories are in 90s and my memories are those where I saw the first Euro trip on a big screen. And like, I know Switzerland, all of these things were made so beautiful. So I was just trying to remember कि मतलब कौन से वो songs है which instantly take you back to Bollywood and Switzerland and all of those things. That's why that song.
आपने ऐसा किया था कि नहीं स्विट्जरलैंड?
आधी इंडिया को तो वो मतलब
आपने जुंगफ्राउ में किया, टिटलिस में किया, कहाँ किया ये बताओ.
यार मुझे पहली बार मैंने saw the movie, I saw the train. मतलब क्या बढ़िया सुंदर trains है यार. मतलब like where are these trains? And actually that was the first reason I wanted to go to Europe, to experience that public transport, beautiful public transport, and then snow and all of those things. So yeah, I mean amazing. Look what memories यार.
चलो अच्छा है कि ये वो आदमी है जो एम्स्टर्डम, थाईलैंड, गोवा, वेगस, इसके अलावा भी सुंदर चीजें पसंद करता है. But cool. So, why I brought up the whole Yash Chopra reference and the Bollywood references, because today we want to talk something which is very special to, I think, Indian travelers. To all of us who dream about our first trip abroad, कहीं एक मन में एक छोटी सी आशा है कि यार एक यूरो ट्रिप हो जाए. और अगर वो यूरो ट्रिप पॉइंट्स पे हो जाए, माइल्स पे हो जाए, फ्री में हो जाए, सोने पे सुहागा. So why not do an episode to celebrate everyone's first Euro trip, and how do you do that on Points and Miles? So with that, we've got Dhimant, but also someone very special. We met this guy called Manas. very interestingly in Hyderabad for the first time. He came for our Miles Ahead meetup. He is a very prominent founding member of the Great Indian Lounge, very active there. And I particularly like Manav क्योंकि हम दोनों रात को 12 से 4 एक्टिव होते हैं डिस्कॉर्ड में.
क्या हो रहा है? अच्छा डिस्कॉर्ड में बोल
हम
दिया.
लोग नॉक्टर्नल होते हैं. तुम्हारा दिमाग ये बंदा ताशी who is धीमंत's wife. यार देखो अपने हस्बैंड को, इसके ख्याल कहाँ कहाँ जा रहे हैं.
हम दोनों 12 से 4 इतना सस्पेंस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं.
थाईलैंड और एम्स्टरडम का असर है.
So डिस्कॉर्ड पे नॉर्मली पब्लिक pretty much एक्टिव रहती है दिन में, but because we work late nights, Manas also is responsive. I typically come alive on Discord after 12 p.m. Tushar, Manas and I, these are typical night owls that you will find on the Great Indian Lounge. So Great Indian Lounge mein Manas has been like a prominent member, founding member, like I said. Or when we were doing Miles Ahead, that is when we met, we hung out. We hung out not only in the Miles Ahead, but then we went for some amazing chai.
Yeah.
That chai at Nilofer Cafe.
And the
in
beetroot
lounge.
kebabs.
And the beetroot
kebabs.
So, coming from someone who doesn't really enjoy vegetables, those beetroot kebabs, for some reason, were really nice. The bun maska was fabulous. And that chai was dessert, but it was iconically yummy.
Dude, but a big shout out to the Hyderabad team.
Yeah.
I would say that it was one of the most epic
Meetup.
Miles Ahead follow-up party, because not only were we hosted by the entire Hyderabad team, but Srinivas Vasu was very, very kind enough to get us into an exclusive space.
So Vasu actually called the founder of Nilofer, and he got us the lounge, and he said that we are coming, humko chahiye. And we were 15 of us sitting in the lounge after 8 hours of Miles Ahead, 3 घंटे बैठ के points और miles की और बात कर रहे हैं, which just shows the unbelievable power of this community. And again, big thanks to you, Vasu, for hosting us. We're very, very grateful.
And the food kept on coming.
It kept on.
It kept
Oh my
coming.
God,
I was like, क्या हुआ?
yeah.
बस हो गया भाई. Beetroot kebabs like crazy. So amazing.
Cool. So with that, Manas, let me introduce him really quickly. Other than the Great Indian Miles introduction and persona of Manas, Manas is what I call for fun, a Malay engineer. What I mean by Malay engineer is machine learning and AI engineer. That is what he does. He works for a very, very cool tech company. He's been there with them for about 5 years. He's been in Hyderabad pretty much all his life. He's big time into fitness, big time into gaming. If there's one thing I'm jealous about Manas, is his iconic work from home setup. He sent me a picture. उसका monitor और उसका gaming console इतना swag worthy है. मैं देख के बोला यार भाई किसी दिन मेरे को भी चाहिए. So again, welcome to the show, Manas. Very, very happy to have you.
Thanks, Adil. Thanks, Dhimant, for having me here. Hopefully, I can add some value to the
Of course you will, yaar. But let me start how this happened. So Dhimant called Manas and he said, Manas, तुमको आना है यार. And Manas is looking at flights. And he does that. मैं बोला क्या हो गया? Says यार मेरे को Dhimant की favorite airline पे आना पड़ेगा. So he came on Dhimant's favorite airline, but he's going back on an equally not so great airline. He's going back by Express. So
Amaya's favorite airline.
तो उसको AI launch नहीं मिलेगा, but ठीक है, it is what it is. But again, thanks for flying all the way from Hyderabad, यार Manas.
Thanks a lot.
Cool, तो शुरू करते हैं यार. Today we want to talk about Euro trip, right? हम सब की Euro trip है. The construct of today is beautiful because Manas is planning his first maiden Europe trip, and Mr. Dhimant has done his Europe trip. And he's done it with swagger and multiple times. I'm glad it's not just Amsterdam multiple times, but the Euro trip multiple times as well. So उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. I think we'll blend what was the past, and we'll also talk about what Manas is planning for the future. We'll talk about how you did it back in the day. We'll talk about how you are planning to do it on points and miles. There are some iconic redemptions that you've planned. उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. We'll get started. Dhimant, ये बताओ Euro trip क्यों?
Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to start with, right? So great question. I think, like we spoke about the Yash Chopra era, right? I mean, I want to just move on to the aspiration of India, and I keep talking about India's aspiration, right? Why is Euro trip a word, right? First of all, what happens is when you kind of see people talking about Europe, you realize that Europe is a continent, but it's got like multiple small countries with each country having something unique about it, right? So it's like, let's say India, right? India में हर कोई state है, city है. When you come to India, you can't just say कि India में क्या करोगे? You have to go to Mumbai to experience something. You have to go to Goa to experience a beach. वैसे Eurotrip has all. So in our olden times, I remember when I was at least 20-25, the Eurotrip concept used to be कि तुम जाओगे 15 दिन तो minimum जाओगे और 2-3 country करोगे. एक country से start करोगे, वहाँ पे land करोगे, and then आप within Europe ट्रेन से घूमोगे. That is our definition of Eurotrip, right? Eurotrip. Now, why a Eurotrip? I feel is that there are some really beautiful countries. Like I said, let's take an example of 3 countries which Indians have been to a lot. One is Switzerland, second is Italy, and let's say France, right? So these are all countries are well connected by trains, by flights, by one or the other means of reaching. So your ability to cover a lot in one trip is beautiful, right? So it's very hard to otherwise cover 2-3 countries in one go, right? Now, as you evolve, you will realize that there are better ways to cover Europe also. But essentially, when today's topic came up with Aadil, my understanding, and whenever people have a lot of comments we get, right, Aadil, ki Eurotrip pe episode karo. My understanding is that India's first Eurotrip is always about covering 2-3 countries together. So we'll try and cover that today. And I feel it's really special because you can cover 3 beautiful terrains, 3 beautiful or 4 beautiful countries in one go, right? Be it imagine the Colosseum, the Eiffel Tower and Jungfrau in one trip. ये हो सकता है. And actually many people have done it, including a lot of friends I have known. My first memory is Eiffel Tower, Bruges and the London Bridge. That's my memory. And that will stick to me throughout. That is with my wife and my daughter, so it's really special.
Awesome. Manas, let's come to you. Why Eurotrip? What memories are you trying to create? How did the idea germinate?
So, why Eurotrip? So, Eurotrip was always what I think everyone in India, right, has in mind. Like, एक बार तो Eurotrip करना ही है. So, of course, you start off with like slightly Southeast Asian countries and all, just to build up your passport so that you get a Schengen.
Yeah.
Getting a Schengen is a different, probably tell another podcast altogether. But the reason it started was because my mom really wanted to visit Switzerland in specific. Yeah. And my sister's into fashion design and all. So she wanted to visit Milan and Paris as well. So our original plan was to do all 3 countries together. So Switzerland, Italy, Paris. But the logistics, it was being a bit too hectic. I'm not a kind of a guy who every day is packed. I am a bit of a leisure guy. Plus, then after I saw your Italy podcast, I'm like, भाई इसको तो एक अलग ही trip बनाना ही पड़ेगा. ये 4 दिन में मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा. I'll need a proper 15 day. So that is going to come up for sure. So then we just spread those days of Italy into Switzerland and Paris. And yeah, that's how it started. So
now you're going to do Switzerland and France, 2 countries.
Yeah, France, not entirely, just Paris mostly. Yeah, but Switzerland and Paris, yeah.
How long are you thinking of it?
So Switzerland is going to be about 9 days, 9 nights.
Yeah.
And then Paris is going to be about, I think, 4 or 5 nights.
Fabulous. 2 weeks. Incredible.
So Aadil, एक बार आप बताओ कि like what was your first Eurotrip and what did the Eurotrip mean to you? I think that's something also I want to understand because today you are that persona who has evolved as a very evolved person. आपने बहुत trips की है, but your first Europe trip may not have been as an evolved traveler. Like how is it different? Like what was your first trip like, Eurotrip especially?
I'm a huge Shah Rukh Khan fan. और जब से DDLJ देखी थी वो वक्त तो था कि यार किसी दिन करना है स्विट्जरलैंड एंड हैव टू गो लाइक मानस. आई एम नॉट मच ऑफ अ रश गाय. मेरे को बहुत आराम से चीज़ें करने का शौक है. अगर आज का कुछ आइटनरी भी प्लान्ड है, आई डोंट फील लाइक वेकिंग अप. मैं नहीं उठूंगा. लाइक इफ आई फील लाइक
राइट फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग
पहले से मेरा ऐसा ही है कि अगर समझो आज 8 बजे का स्टार्ट है, आई मूड नहीं, आई डोंट फील लाइक, आई एम फीलिंग लाइक आई जस्ट वांट टू चिल एंड डू नथिंग. I will actually chill and do nothing. It's okay. कल पोस्टपोन कर लेंगे, देख लेंगे. That's the style. तो पहले से वैसे ही था कि आराम से करेंगे, अच्छे से करेंगे, मज़े से करेंगे. So when I was thinking about this, initially travel bug was always there, but you were also hesitant because of budgets. But then thanks to the OG Diners Black, we had collected quite a few points. and we said यार अब करना है. और वो जुंगफ्राउ करना था, ग्रिंडलवाल्ड करना था, एंगलबर्ग करना था, और मेरी ख्वाहिश ये थी कि मेरे को एंजलबर्ग में जाके रहना है, at the foothills of Titlis. I want to stay there. I want to come out to the balcony and I want to look at Titlis in the face. When I come down, I want to just look at it and sit in the balcony and soak it all in the evening. And then get up in the morning, make chai in your room using whatever you have and just enjoy. हालांकि वो चाय 1 मिनट में ठंडी हो जाती थी. That's okay. Just want to soak it all in. So वो सब सारे ख्वाब थे. Along with that एक और ख्वाब था कि सुबह उठूं, ऐसे कर्टन्स करूं और आईफल टावर दिखे सामने. वो that I don't know for what reason it was there. And you will find a lot of hotels.
Eiffel Tower view. Eiffel Tower view लिखा रहता है.
हाँ,
They
लिखा
write
होता
it,
है.
right? Yeah.
So
तो मुझे क्यून मूवी याद आ गई.
हाँ. So तब ये पॉइंट एयर माइल्स वगैरह का आइडिया नहीं था, होटल लॉयल्टी का आइडिया नहीं था तभी. मैं 2019 की बात कर रहा हूँ. But Smart Boy points burning for revenue 100% was there, which was
2009, the first Europe trip.
first Europe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel older than you also, Adil.
I'm 42 man. You're only 1 year older than me.
My first Europe
आपको बड़ा भाई मानते हैं लेकिन इतने भी बड़े नहीं हो आप.
Yeah, crazy, man. Like, I had no credit card. I mean, I did not use any credit card when my first trip happened. Sorry, go ahead.
हाँ, so मेरा ये था कि I wanted to use my Diners Black, and I still remember that back in the day there was this hotel called Mason, और उससे iconic view था of the Eiffel Tower, and the window was large. It was like a bloody.
So you
I
did
don't know,
Paris and
massive
Switzerland.
screen. I landed. So we did 4 countries. We did 4 countries in 3 weeks.
Oh.
So we did. We landed in France. From there we went to your favorite country, Netherlands. From there we went to Switzerland, and finally we wrapped up in Italy.
Wow.
So that was our trip. But that's how it started. That was the genesis.
Okay, so the Euro trip I spoke about was a combination of countries, but my first Europe trip was Switzerland, right? Just like him.
Yeah.
But it was 2013, and like I've always said in all my podcasts, so first booking I did in 2009, which my wife shocked me by telling me that she did not have a passport. I surprised her and I cancelled my Emirates flight, and that entire 50,000 rupees went. उस time पे 50,000 की 2 return ticket मिली थी मुझे Emirates पे. That was my first booking. The second time I booked was in 2013 when she had a passport, and then we had the visas and we made that booking happen. And for me, the dream, like he said, was to wake up and see, Titlis. For me, the first thing was we had seen it in a lot of movies that हम बाहर जाएंगे तो snow हो रहा होगा.
बिल्कुल.
वो मेरा view था. And my wife she's a snow person. She's not a beach person. She's not a mountain person. She loves snow. So whenever our first vacation happens, always her first choice is कि भाई snow वाली जगह है क्या?
Yeah.
Right? And being Indians, we live in a tropical country, so it's always difficult to find snow, right? I have been to Kashmir. She hasn't been to anywhere else in India where she has seen snow. So. And we didn't know anything, so our first destination was Zermatt. Okay, we first, like any other noobs, we carried Indian winter clothes.
Yeah.
We landed in Zermatt. We got out of the train,
Freezing.
and it was freezing.
Yeah.
We took our bags. It was literally snowing. We reached our hotel, which we had booked, and we got entirely wet. Right, so it was crazy, and we couldn't stop and have anything because stuff was so expensive in Zermatt. Like, we remember having a truffle chocolate, right? That was some 4 Swiss francs, right? A single truffle.
400 रुपए का
400 रुपए का single truffle. And like, coming from where we come from, I mean, it was hard for us to kind of believe. And it was being your first Euro trip. Luckily, I had been to US before this. So for me, at least थोड़ा सा मुझे वो culture shock आ चुका था कि $1 का 100 रुपया, 80 रुपया, 60 रुपया हो सकता है, right? All of that. Zermatt से we went to Interlaken. Like, we couldn't believe what we saw. Like, ऐसी कोई जन्नत जैसी जगह हो सकती है. Like, we couldn't believe it, right? And then from there we went to Lucerne. I think you're also covering Lucerne, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about your trip.
Amazing,
right?
Lucerne,
Crazy.
Bern, man, crazy good.
And then we went to Zurich, and then the last day I think we went to Rhine Falls, and then came back, and that's it. I think 8 दिन था, but from that day we got addicted. I said कि यार अब तो यूरोप की हर कंट्री देखनी है, right? But that was my genesis, Adil, and the only one thing which I remember from my entire trip is the first day we woke up after our first night in Zermatt. We opened our, like he said, मैंने window खोला and it was snowing.
Beautiful.
I think behind that aspiration of doing that Euro trip, it's those tiny moments of watching the Eiffel Tower or watching snow fall is what I think people crave. Right? At least that's my experience.
Yeah, so, like you're at Eiffel Tower, you're looking at the structure, and you're imagining how the hell did I get here? It is so cool that structure. I mean, ठीक है तुम TV पे देखते हो, YouTube पे देखते हो वगैरह. When you go there, it's something else. It's a crazy feeling. I want to dig in more into what your trip was like. I want to break down precisely your itinerary.
Perfect.
Because by now the entire community knows Tashi's penchant for detailed itineraries. But Manas, we start with you. Tell us, you're going to these two amazing countries. What have you planned? What all do you want to do? And then we will get into the science of what miles you use and what points you use. But pehle, let's talk about the experiences you want and why you booked it, and then we'll dig into more.
Yeah, so we're going to land in Switzerland itself, and then we're going to Lucerne first. And from there, we're going to do Mount Titlis, and I think Matterhorn is also close from there, if I'm not wrong. And then from there, we're going to go to Interlaken. So Lucerne is the first stop, then Interlaken. Interlaken, so you'll do Grindelwald. I think we're going during the shoulder season. So,
which month is this?
November only. Like
November,
23rd is when we're going. So some stuff are closed for maintenance. So that is kind of a drawback of that time. But on the flip side, things are a bit more.
I disagree. I think November is a beautiful time. Nothing will be closed, and I'll tell you what I feel. You will see a little bit of snow and a little bit of greenery as well. So Lucerne, for example, I don't think you'll see snow.
Yeah.
Maybe, but Lucerne, you will see a lot of greenery around. It's still that season where it's not very very cold, and it's a great season actually in my view.
So what would be close? So there's some not rides. I mean, some cable cars and stuff that go on maintenance. Even I think the most iconic panoramic train, which is the Golden Pass, that doesn't work during that month.
Got it.
That time. So we are kind of missing out on that, but. Yeah, we'll cover it in the next Switzerland trip.
Dude, I'm telling you, I told Aadil in one of the other podcasts, I think, where I feel that those trains are super overhyped. I feel normal trains, for example, when you go from Interlaken to Jungfrau, the train ride, the simple train ride, obviously it's very expensive, but that train ride itself is like too scenic. Like you will burn a crazy hole in your pocket by taking those scenic trains. They are very expensive. Yeah. I feel it's okay. Matlab, you can miss that. It's not something that you would probably regret over.
Yeah. So the first trip we're keeping it more like a touristy trip. Yeah, do whatever people say tourists must do, like Jungfrau and stuff like that. Maybe the next trip we will do some offbeat stuff as well. Like I personally feel that if you can, you should try visiting a country twice, if possible. So, pehli baar you do everything touristy, mainstream stuff. Second one, you actually go and explore, because then वो तलवार नहीं है कि यार Switzerland गए, Jungfrau नहीं देखा. Like it's expensive, it's probably overpriced. People say Mount Titlis, Glacier 3000 is better, but
it's evolution of you as a traveler as well, right? You do 2-3 trips, you eventually realize what you want out of that trip. See, first trip, you are going to crave what you've seen, and you will probably go there, right? So, for example, when you went to Italy this time, you were okay to go to Colosseum, see it from outside, and even if you don't get a chance to go inside. But had it been at that early part of my career, अगर मैं इटली गया लेकिन मुझे Colosseum में अंदर जाने नहीं मिला, I would be super pissed. I was like, क्या यार ये बकवास है. But today it's okay, because then I was craving that Tuscany का drive up the hill. But it's evolution. It doesn't happen from day one. See, for example, Aadil said that he is that guy whose persona from day one was, for all you know, with after you get kids, your travel, then you change your persona over a period also, right?
You have to, yeah.
It's an evolution. I don't think it's a very simple answer. And stay away from those people who make you feel bad about it. Trust me, it's not worth it. Just stay away from those people who make you feel bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, do what the heart says. Yeah. That's all that matters. So cool. So let's rewind back again. You're going to Switzerland, you land in Lucerne, then you go to Interlaken, you're going to cover Jungfrau. What else? What are you really, really looking forward to? What are the top 3-4 things you feel like, this is why I'm going to Switzerland?
See, it's definitely going to be going to the peaks, right? Because that experience, you've seen in YouTube videos, but when you experience it live, And I guess one of your podcasts, when you had your spouses over, you did speak about
Yes.
the view of Jungfrau and how
Yeah.
you like it was
Oh,
unreal.
spectacular, yeah.
Right. Even if you're freezing to death over there, but वो देखना है, right? So that is definitely like my top priority. वो नहीं किया, that's not gonna happen. We have to do it. उसको छोड़ के जो भी है वो मेरे लिए ठीक है, चलो bonus type है. But
So which
it's
are the
gonna
two
be
peaks you said? Jungfrau and?
Jungfrau, we're gonna try. It all depends on the weather over
Sure,
there
yeah.
and stuff like that. So it's a bit flexible. Jungfrau is there, Mount Titlis is there, and Matterhorn. We're probably not gonna go to the peak, but we're gonna like go around Matterhorn. There's some train over there, so that scenic train. We're covering the Golden Pass. No, sorry, the Golden Pass. So we're gonna cover that.
Did you buy the Swiss pass?
Yeah. So that's the.
What is the
beautiful-
current price of Swiss pass? I want to know.
So of course there are like two tiers, right? You either take the second class one or the first class
Second
one.
class one. अब तो आपने first class लिया, सेकंड क्लास लिया.
वो अभी डिसीजन चल रहा है कौन सा लेना है.
अभी तक लिया नहीं है.
नहीं,
That's okay, yeah.
पास तो कभी भी ले सकते हो. It's
Yeah.
not. And they also have a bonus offer running right now.
Yeah.
So if you take the first class, 8 days का लिया तो 2 दिन का free मिल जाता है आपको. So because our thing is 9 nights, we will need at least 9. So 10 साल लेना पड़ेगा. And in the second class, you have either you get 8 or you get 15.
Correct.
Right. So 15 और 10 को compare किया, so I guess the delta, the first class one comes to about 2 lakhs for the three of us. So it's me, my mom, and my sister.
Correct.
So 70,000 roughly
Per
for
person, yeah.
first class.
No, not exactly. It's because my sister counts as a youth category. So people under 25,
हाँ.
at or under 25, उनको discount मिलता है. I think they pay 50% of the fare, some discount. So
If
yeah.
only you would have done this a year back.
If only. But I didn't have the Magnus at that point. So time लगता है points accumulate करने में.
बोलते हैं ना क्रेडिट कार्ड जिंदगी बदल देती है.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, the reason we could think of doing this Europe trip is primarily because of this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we'll come to that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then from Interlaken, Grindelwald, of course, we're going to do that if you're going to Jungfrau. And I think you suggested to do Lauterbrunnen and look at the cheese, how cheese is made over there. So that.
Amazing.
Udhar se we're going to go to Zurich. Zurich is just 2 nights, almost like a pit stop. We're going to do Rhine Falls, as you said.
Beautiful.
And जा रहे हैं तो Lindt chocolate factory तो
Oh,
जाना ही
बिल्कुल,
पड़ेगा.
बिल्कुल.
I think one of our Discord members also suggested this.
Robin, I think Robin.
Yeah, he suggested this other chocolate shop that you should also visit once. So that's available in Interlaken also.
Laderak is my favorite.
You
You have to go to tell you what, people love Lindt,
Yeah.
and I love Lindt too. Lindt is here. I feel Laderak is there. It is wild.
Yeah.
Like,
दोनों कर लेंगे. हम पे को क्या है?
you should, because both
Yeah.
are amazing chocolatory experience. I tell you what, you go into Bern, you go into the Lindt major, the HQ one there. यार you enter, वो waterfall नहीं होता एक दीवार पे, right? There is a waterfall of Lindt chocolate dropping. Literal, like Lindt chocolate dropping like that. You know, when they sprinkle holy water on a child, वो मेरे दिमाग में तो वो म्यूजिक चलने लगा. Like, this is Jannat, literally. Like such a cool thing. And then you can go there. You can drink Lindt chocolate there. I don't know if they still have it. 2019 में हम जब गए थे, so it was there. And then they said, "Sir, would you like some?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." वो पहला your first that Lindor round ball of chocolate they give you free, so you have it. And then you can go and buy more things inside. I said, I want to drink that. So of course, sir. They gave me a shot glass. First time in life I drank chocolate. तो बहुत मजा आया Lindt में, but Laderak I feel is like very underrated.
I tell you, if they have make 2 suggestions, like obviously among the obvious ones you would obviously know, if you're stopping anywhere, just like when you go to Italy, you have coffee everywhere, right? मतलब आप पियोगे coffee. वैसे ही स्विट्जरलैंड में जहाँ भी जाओगे ना, उनकी हॉट चॉकलेट पियो. Everywhere. Forget the big brands. Even the normal hot chocolate there is so good. I just got those packet hot chocolates also. They're really good. That's one. Secondly, the cheese factory that he spoke about, have the fondue there. Yeah. It's a game-changing experience. It doesn't matter what you have the fondue with. The cheese, the melting cheese is insane. Swiss cheese at its best. Like amazing. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was a Lauterbrunnen.
Yeah,
or at Engelberg. I don't remember where it was because 2013 का स्विट्जरलैंड, 2019 का स्विट्जरलैंड, 2025 का स्विट्जरलैंड. So हर generation का स्विट्जरलैंड है आपके साथ.
And very interesting. The difference between all three is 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
So, yeah, I think hot chocolate particularly, Lind has a very good hot chocolate. They sell it to you in a blue colored tin. And they have the milk hot chocolate and they have the dark as well. So take whichever you like. But you can bring copious amounts of those back to India because once you have it there, they don't sell the Lind tin in India for hot chocolate.
Okay.
I've seen it's available only in Switzerland. The only other place where I've been able to find it and buy it is in Australia. So if you like it, get as many as you can there क्योंकि वापस मिलना मुश्किल है.
यार इतना सब बता के मेरे मम्मी को कंट्रोल करना पड़ने वाला है उधर.
क्यों?
She's a huge fan, like
Of what?
huge fan of hot chocolate.
Oh, there you
Like anywhere she goes, any cafe or anything, she has to try the hot chocolate.
No, so I'll tell you the reason why I felt so is this. I can't remember that brand name here. There was an orange color packet, Ovaltime or something, Ovaltime or something. Those packets, like we carried it, and the problem with carrying such things is once it gets over, then you again crave it because you don't know when you will be able to get it again, right? So those packets were just mine. So I remember Italy episode में हमने वो पॉकेट चॉकलेट की बात की थी, कॉफी की, पॉकेट कॉफी की. मुझे हर महीने 2 DM आते हैं. मैंने किसी ने अगर कोई तो DM में ये भी लिख दे कि तुम्हारे लिए भी लेके आया हो, अब तक कोई लेके नहीं आया. So
cool. Okay, so we discussed about Switzerland. You definitely want to do the peaks.
Yeah.
Along with that, you definitely want to get your fix of hot chocolate.
Yes.
I know you're a coffee connoisseur yourself.
Yeah.
So you will want to try and sample different types of coffee.
Yeah.
You are buying the Swiss Pass, which is a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I bought it back in 2019. One of the best things ever. Love the precision at which Swiss trains operate.
Yeah.
There's a clock at every station. Let's say your train is at 11. 11:01 ऐसे वो जो second का काटा ऐसे move होता है ना, train starts moving. It is unbelievable. The Swiss and their sense of time and their adherence to time is unbelievable. So I think you're in for a treat. Is there anything else we are missing that you think that people should do in Switzerland or something that you'd want to do?
So one thing I would want to do, but it's way too expensive for me to do,
बताओ ना.
is I want to stay at this Stad. You know?
Start, yeah, of course. Yeah.
But it's way too expensive. और वो तो points का तो छोड़ ही दो. I don't think there's any Accor or even Marriott over there.
GST.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. Or Stad or whatever. Yeah. So I do want to stay there, but ये trip तो possible ही नहीं
नहीं,
है.
so why do you want to stay there? उसकी बात करो.
I've just heard it's super peaceful, and I think it's I don't know if it's offbeat. It's probably offbeat for us. I've heard a lot of celebrities when they go to Switzerland, they prefer staying at Stad over there. So I want to see कि है क्या
Monaco
भाई.
of Switzerland, is it?
Yeah.
हाँ ऐसा कुछ तो है वो, like, and it's quite expensive to do it, but होगा शिद्दत से
अगर किसी चीज को शिद्दत से चाहो तो हो जाता है. Tell us a little bit about how did you book your flights? Were they on revenue or is this redemption? And tell us about how many seats.
So it's the 3 of us flying. So all flights were done on redemption. So obviously from Hyderabad to Zurich, then Zurich to Paris, and Paris back to Hyderabad. Thankfully, I don't have to go to Mumbai or Bangalore for anything. So all done on revenue, no points used, because to and fro from Hyderabad at least is Emirates, is what we're flying, your favorite airlines. And the internal transfer from Zurich to Paris, because it's an hour flight, it's Air France. So we're getting a good cost. So the only place I could transfer would have been probably Air France.
Yeah.
For Paris.
Yeah.
But I didn't find it
Doesn't
worth
make
it.
sense,
Like
yeah,
it was
domestic
like
is
the
it,
redemption value was not that great.
Yeah.
Plus you're flying coach. So
Yeah.
for me, flying coach and burning points for that,
Yeah.
unless it's like domestic travel, you're using iShop Smart Buy points, it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make sense much.
Correct.
So I'd rather move them to Accor, even though it's in Group B, like
Yeah.
Air France, but the KLM points is just way too much requirement. So
It's a dynamic program, so sometimes it keeps changing. I mean, if you get it at a good deal, sometimes you may get it at a really good deal. But I'll tell you one very interesting thing. Obviously, I wish I knew a lot of this point stuff when I was doing my first trip. But for me, somehow, and again, this is something I don't understand why, but when I was doing my first trip, I was in Bombay at that point of time. I was super excited to just take a Swiss Air from Bombay, just land. I couldn't afford it. उस time पे थोड़ी महंगी थी वो flight, so I did Emirates. But उस time पे, even though Emirates is a good airline, I wanted to take that airline. So for some reason, that Swiss brand, कि मतलब कि यार सब कुछ सही होगा Swiss में जाऊँगा, तो that feeling was there. Did you consider Swiss Air as well?
So yeah, I think Swiss Air offers you a direct flight option, right? There is no
From Hyderabad से है क्या?
Yeah, I think there was an option from Hyderabad, or it was Delhi. I think कुछ तो था. But the reason I chose Emirates is actually the same reason you chose Swiss Air, is because when you choose an Emirates flight, you have this sort of mental peace कि हाँ experience अच्छा ही होगा, right? Swiss Air, again, it's kind of like what I read was a bit of a hit and miss. So taking that extra stop at Dubai, I don't mind. And as I said, I'm traveling with my mom, right? And I don't want any sort of like hiccup or like bad experience, which is also the reason, like we'll cover it later, but this whole trip is a pure Accor. Like you can do Airbnbs, you can do
Accor के वजह से तुम स्विट्जरलैंड जा रहे हो, ऐसे बोल दो. Accor है इसलिए तुम स्विट्जरलैंड जा रहे हो.
Correct. हाँ नहीं होता तो फिर देखना पड़ता यार.
उल्टा है. Magnus Burgundy है इसलिए जा रहे हैं स्विट्जरलैंड.
Magnus Burgundy इसलिए Accor है इसलिए स्विट्जरलैंड है.
So you're doing Emirates,
Yeah.
which is great. Tell us how you booked the Emirates. What card did you use? What portal did you use?
So I didn't want to take any risk by going through Travel Edge and
Yeah.
all for this thing.
Direct Emirates booking.
Direct Emirates booking किया है, and I ensured that all my expenses were spanned in such a way
Yeah.
that if I do it in chunks, I could hit AEP each month.
Amazing.
So I just got the card in June or July, I don't remember. And except 1 month, I have hit considerable AEP across.
Right.
Because see, your Swiss pass is like about 2 lakhs.
Yeah.
जो अभी ये महीने का आएगा.
Yeah.
वो तो AEP हो ही गया, तो फिर
Yeah.
पूरा घर का चाव उस पे डालो. The Emirates flights themselves were also hitting AEP.
Correct.
तो some 1.5 का कुछ तो round trip हो गया.
That itself is your
AEP हो गया. So I do have the Atlas. I was thinking कि Atlas or Magnus, but there is something about that 14% that no matter what happens, you will just steer towards that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just summarizing, your strategy was to book revenue flights, book MB, AP, simple, keep it very simple. तुमने Emirates website पे गए, वहाँ से best fare book किया and you went ahead and booked it.
Yeah.
And it's
Perfect.
direct now, cancellation का लफड़ा नहीं.
हाँ.
And Emirates is amazing if you book there.
And there is a certain this thing, right? Like कि
Dude, the
experience
U-
itna,
the UI
it'll be
you-
good experience. Like you won't get a shitty experience like some other airlines that might exist.
Even when you book on Emirates.com,
हाँ.
the whole UI UX, it's so good.
यार आप Emirates का कुछ भी बताओगे ना,
Yes.
कुछ भी.
Tell me
He
you
will
did
always
right.
appreciate.
I'm going to
I
give a
will
note
say-
to my editor, निखिल हर वीडियो में से इसका
Dude,
Emirates
you're
clip
a
निकाल के
dev.
पूरा पॉडकास्ट बन जाएगा.
Hey, you're a dev. Pixel perfect नहीं है Emirates.com.
It's fine. I mean, I can honestly say Indigo का is the same UX. ये अभी मेरे को बाहर फेंकेंगे पॉडकास्ट से, मैं बता रहा हूँ. इतना भी नहीं है.
बकवास ऐप है.
मेरे को लग रहा है गोल्ड का कुछ अलग है. Emirates गोल्ड का कुछ अलग UX होगा. पता नहीं क्या है.
इतना बकवास ऐप है आपकी ब्लू कलर की एयरलाइन का.
आपकी ब्लू है. Okay.
इनकी टायर 1 मेंबर की बात कर रहे हैं. वो ब्लू चिप आधा टाइम तो चलता ही नहीं मेरे को आई डोंट. बट एनीवेज, सो यू सेड यू डिड Emirates, Magnus Burgundy, you got your 14%. Fantastic.
Hey, can I just give me if you're comfortable, just share a number. Like, what is how is the economy price to Switzerland today? If somebody wants to plan a Switzerland trip, like how much does it cost?
हाँ, so I believe it was probably 30K per person one way.
Okay.
One way economy. So we got the visa somewhere around I would say September or so. So it's a fairly short period. So maybe the prices are a bit higher. Again, it's also shoulder season. So I don't
But
know.
60K broadly.
60K per person, na?
Round trip.
Fair.
Round trip, yeah. Not bad.
Very good.
Mota.
On Emirates, that's great. But anyways, so now that's done. आगे बढ़ो. Saying that now you've landed in Switzerland. And which all cities are you staying? And which properties are you staying? Which ones are you most looking forward?
So as I said, this trip, I also wanted, so this is the first trip, regardless of domestic or international, where my family would actually experience redemptions kya hote hai, right? So I wanted to have a good experience ki for them to be like, okay, I should take that effort to swipe his card rather than doing UPI or something else, or I should wait for the vouchers. So wo कीड़ा डालने के लिए, it's a pure Accor play, right? All transfer through points. A little bit I was falling short, so that's a bit of revenue. But so we land in Switzerland, we go to Lucerne. Lucerne only has 3 properties of Accor, and all are Ibis. It's Ibis Budget, Ibis, and Ibis Styles. We went ahead with the Ibis Styles. It's right next to the bridge over there, so it's close to the station and pretty well located. From there, we are going to go to Interlaken, and that's one of the properties where I'm extremely interested, and I probably like half my redemption is that property. Okay, of the entire stash. We're staying there for 4 nights. It's the M Gallery St. George's.
My favorite brand is M Gallery.
Yeah.
So amazing property.
So actually, because of you, I've tried booking M Gallery wherever possible.
अगर अच्छा नहीं हुआ,
Dude, you see the
अगर
pictures.
अच्छा नहीं हुआ, तुम देखो.
वो मैं पॉडकास्ट छोड़ूंगा, तुम बताना कि अच्छा नहीं है तो.
माइल्स रिकवरी इनसे करना.
हाँ, Miles
वैसे
का
भी he's sleeping on a lot of miles.
Yeah. So as you said, like you wanted to see the when you open your window, you see the peak. So
Yeah.
we did get a room with balcony,
हाँ.
so that when we open, we'll see Jungfrau and the peaks from
Ooh,
there.
fabulous.
So that दूर से, but yeah.
Fabulous.
So and it's pretty well located, like
Yeah.
right next to the Interlaken Ost station as well.
हाँ.
Pretty well located. From there, we're going to Zurich,
हाँ.
and Zurich we're staying at Apart Hotel.
Apart, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a
Yeah,
service
Adagio.
brand. Yeah,
Service
Adagio.
apartment type. Like we thought it's fine enough. 2 nights stay.
Yeah.
Didn't really care too much about
Yeah.
burning points over there. And from there, we're going to Paris.
Yeah.
And in Paris as well, we're staying in an M Gallery.
M Gallery, Paris has 4-5 M Gallery because it's a brand originated there, and you know that's
Which M Gallery?
I can't pronounce it, but I call it the M Gallery Opera.
Opera.
Opera. हाँ.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
So
it's a good.
that's
great hotel.
where they're gonna stay for 4 nights or 5
भाई
nights.
ने जलाया है पॉइंट तो मस्त है.
अच्छी बात है ना. So talk about how many points did you have to bowl total across all these nights?
Across all these nights. So as overall, I exhausted my Magnus Burgundy, which 5:4 made 2 lakh points to
So
transfer.
160 क्या आ जाता है?
160k उधर से Atlas का पूरा 30k, which is 60k हो जाता है.
220K,
So
yeah.
2.2 that comes to roughly
4.4,
4.4 4.5 के बीच में आता है. वो पूरा जला दिया. उसके ऊपर रेवेन्यू देना पड़ रहा है. So the revenue is coming to about I think a lakh or so. From which now that I have gotten my hands on the premiere and I've gotten the 20k bonus points, thank you
So that's
HSBC.
40k again gone.
40k
Amazing.
gone. So maybe pay 60 or
So dude, how awesome is it, right? Your stays are costing you 5.5 lakhs for about how many nights? 14 nights.
Yeah, 14 nights.
14 nights, 5.5 lakhs. Out of which 5 lakhs is through points.
Yeah.
You're
Great.
paying only 50,000 rupees for an international vacation in Switzerland and France. And these are the stories.
These are 2 examples which I keep speaking about, but you know sometimes those calculations make sense when you hear a story like this. I'll give you 2 points. One, this is the only time I'm okay with putting a 2 rupee value to Accor because you actually used it. Right? तब तक मैं 2 रुपए वैल्यू नहीं लगाता हूँ. But now imagine like he said, तुमने X points से X rupees book किया. ठीक है, मतलब आप you would have overspent or booked a better
Correct.
hotel. Think about
Yeah.
it as 1 rupee value and overspent to get
Correct.
a 1 rupee value free.
Yeah.
Second, imagine how much more can you spend on eating there, experiencing
Yeah.
things there. That experience that you would have probably said नहीं करते यार बहुत
हाँ,
खर्चा हो गया.
exactly.
You can now go and do that because your hotels are
अभी
funded.
तो आउट ऑफ पॉकेट खर्चा सिर्फ 50,000 है ना, 5 लाख तो सारा बच गए.
Exactly.
Which is amazing.
Exactly. And even on the spends that you're doing on revenue, let's talk about the economy. Which card did you use? MB.
Magnus
You got 14% back on
Correct.
that, which is another 28% for a future trip. Accor stay, right?
Yeah.
Which you're also talking about.
But okay, hang on for a second. Does this also take you to platinum now? Because
Yes.
yeah, because you're gold now.
I got
And how many
gold.
nights do you have right now?
So Explorer ke through, I have the plat charge, the card that even is probably just judging me too much right now. You can just see his face. But
I know very
plat
few
charge-
people whose first few cards is plat charge. So yeah, absolutely
Yeah,
okay.
Go for it. हाँ.
Yeah, so through Plat Charge, I got the Accor, but that gives you 20. Even after the recent revamp, it still gives you 20 nights.
हाँ.
So 20 उधर से है.
हाँ.
Then I did the Accor China 30 nights program.
So sorted. Then to you're
So,
arriving.
50.
14 इधर से हो जाएंगे. You're platinum now until end of 2026.
Yeah, so yeah, the only thing I was actually contemplating to do
Yeah.
was do some sort of mattress
Mattress
run.
run. I was-
ठीक है कि I will get maybe not the
Also,
interlateral
before
property.
you get there, you
Exactly.
ये स्टोरी सुनी लग रही है.
I tried this for my Accor diamond. I couldn't before going to Japan. I became diamond one night before coming back.
That's going to be me for platinum.
Have you booked all your nights with breakfast?
Yeah, breakfast and
फिर
flexible.
मत करो अभी. फिर मत करो.
Yeah, so
Unless
right now it
unless
doesn't
you are
make
okay to cancel those bookings,
And
become
rebook.
platinum
See,
and then rebook it.
Honestly, I can technically save some money by removing that flexible because अभी हो गया, right? Remove the flexible and book the regular rate, which I will most likely do.
Yes.
If it's considerable
Yeah,
amount now because
yeah.
the prices might have gone up from there.
Yeah.
So I'll have to do the math. But yeah, the mattress run made sense at some point where so I was looking at doing the Delta stay, which was a 10-night stay.
आज एक हो गया तुम्हारा.
आज
वीकेंड रुक जाता है बैंगलोर में. वीकेंड रुक जाता है बैंगलोर
क्या
में.
होगा?
वीकेंड रुक जाता है बैंगलोर में.
उससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला, right? Because it'll take to credit. So I was thinking of doing a 10-night Goa stay. I was getting a pretty decent value, 20k for 10 nights, 25k for 10 nights.
Like 2,500 rupees in Goa per night.
Yeah.
In
it was-
November?
नहीं,
Really?
November नहीं. This was in September.
अच्छा okay okay.
So I was
Past.
trying to finish it before the 1st October changes came in, so that the gray area, the
Sure,
stacking
yeah,
gray
yeah.
area doesn't affect anything. So, but while the hotel was cheaper, the same cost was for the flights, and then I was like managing work, staying there,
Yeah,
खाने
yeah.
का खर्चा.
Correct.
I was like, it's not worth it. I'll just get platinum through the trip,
Yeah.
and then I'll have it till end of 27, right? I have the math right, or 26 at least.
Also, I think
So,
I have been to a few places like in Southeast Asia, and I think Southeast Asia, mein at least the platinum status has great recognition.
Correct.
After speaking to a few people who've been to Europe
Yeah.
with platinum, I think it's not a life changer. They
Yeah.
do treat you well, better
Yeah.
than our gold, but it's okay, man. Like,
Yeah. I think it's valued more in South Asia, as you said. No, like we'll go to, and I do plan on doing Vietnam and Japan as well. So I guess that status is a lot more useful over there than
For
me
sure.
doing a mattress run for this.
For sure.
awesome.
Cool. So now now that we've covered flights, we've covered hotels. Before we get into Paris and France, let's just round up the visa section. So tell us, how did you think about the visa? Did you book it yourself? Did you use an agent? Talk to the process, talk to the cost, talk to the timelines.
Yeah. So we actually applied for the visa through the agent. So we knew one thing: we wanted to do Europe, and the itinerary was roughly sketched that Switzerland, Italy, and France. ये cover करना है. Then we spoke to our visa agent. We went to them only, and they actually suggested that go to Switzerland. It's the easiest Schengen visa that you can get because there is very structured. I don't know about how others are, but you have a checklist. Just those documents will be needed. The documents are fine. You'll get the visa. There is no like ये mutual fund का ये दिखाओ, assets दिखाओ. No जमेला of all those documents. Although we took them. Yeah, we applied for the visa, got it in a week or so, and so August end is when we applied. Appointment was in September, got it in a week. So thankfully it was smooth. I don't know how others have, like I've heard horror stories. So we were always on the कि यार ये होगा कि नहीं होगा तो ठीक है नहीं जाएंगे. But like you kind of get demotivated and you're like,
Yeah, Schengen visas
Yeah.
can be nerve-wracking, man.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a very funny incident on a Schengen visa. It happened with us. Like we were noobs. 2013 की बात है. We applied for the Schengen visa twice Switzerland. As usual, my wife started making the itinerary because उसका पहला trip था outside India. पहला trip था Switzerland. Imagine. Started making the itinerary and then she's like, तेरे तो बहुत कम है हमारे पास दिन 8 ही दिन है. Let's do one thing. Let's extend. She went to her office, asked for 2 more days leaves, and she added more stuff to the itinerary. And I changed the ticket. I paid money and I changed the ticket. Emirates को पैसा दिया मैं literally change करने के लिए. And then we realized, we opened our visa. And we realized कि हमको visa exact जिस दिन पे वापस आना था उसी दिन का मिला था. So फिर से हमने जाके cancel किया ticket और फिर से पहले वाला ticket book किया. And more than the ticket cost, the rebooking cost us. I've done some crazy noob mistakes. Right? So,
we all do these mistakes, right? कौन सी बड़ी बात है?
So I think thankfully in our case, even we thought कि जो period है, you will get the visa for that.
Exact date मिला मुझे.
We actually got like our visa started 2 days before we landed, and it's actually valid till Feb.
So we got that is validity for you to
enter.
Correct,
but it's also valid for 30 days stay.
तभी नहीं मिलता था वैसा.
तो
it was exactly dates.
Yeah. Although we applied for multiple entry, we knew it was like a shot in the dark type thing. But they did give us a single entry visa and it went through pretty smooth. So yeah, visa was not
awesome.
As daunting as I thought. It is nerve-wracking till you get it. So वो sticker आ गया, then you're fine. But till then it's all like.
So you didn't go through any of these apps. You knew a reliable agent and you chose to trust them. Okay, so let's talk about your visa now.
Yeah.
Visa, you didn't book through an app. You went through someone that you knew and you trusted. What was the process like? Talk about why you went with said person, and then what were the costs like? What were the timelines like? Just help us understand.
So the reason we went through the agent was because my mom, she was a teacher, and then you know these. The schools take you on trips, right?
Yeah.
So the school had a visa agent they knew, and so she knew it via the school.
Perfect. Yeah.
So Jan
there's a relationship. Yeah.
Correct. And she's done the not Switzerland. Sorry, she did the Singapore visa for us, the Dubai visa for my mom and my sister when they went. So we have a bit of a history with them and a certain level of trust and communication. So yeah, we went through them, and she's the one who they guided us to, go with Switzerland. They guided us to go through Switzerland. It's very well structured, and it's as long as your documents are good, your flight tickets, your hotel bookings, and everything on point, there shouldn't be any issue of getting the visa.
But in any case, see, when you have time, the right way to apply the visa is always where you're staying the most. So by default, I think you would have anyway gone for the Swiss visa only, right?
Yes. So, and now I think recently they've changed the rules. They've introduced these visa shopping rules, which essentially says that not only does your first port of entry or your exit has to be from the country, maximum stay also has to be in that country.
Got it.
So I can do like 5 days in Switzerland and then 6 days in France.
Correct.
That will count under visa shopping.
Correct.
I don't know how to track that, but it's best not to mess with these rules, right? Which is why Switzerland is the major chunk of our business. Costing was standard visa charges, whatever those were. So the agent, of course, took because of all the process and all, they took about, for the three of us, it was I think 9K, 3K per person. And then when you go to VFS, we decided to go through the premium lounge.
Yeah.
And I think that had a bit of a haircut on top.
Yeah.
But I think that costing came to probably 40, 45K for the three of us. So 15K per person over there. And 3K per person for the visa agent. So mota 17, 18K per person, the visa got done. And it was very smooth.
This includes the Swiss visa cost. The cost of the Swiss embassy or whatever.
Yeah. So that 14K that we paid at VFS includes the Swiss embassy cost. It includes the premium lounge, whatever the charges are, and the courier charges. So the passport gets couriered to you, and the alerts, the SMS and email alerts.
So I want to talk here one mistake that we made, and again, not a mistake, one regret we have. So we were very excited to go to UK as well. So we did a very random itinerary, right? Because we did Belgium, we did France, and we did UK. And what we realized after planning everything is कि यार UK का भी अलग से visa headache है, right? So like if you are one of those guys also who are doing your first Euro trip, and try not to do UK along. I think it's an additional visa headache. So my recommendation is don't do it together. Unless you have a month and you want to do both, like that's okay. Otherwise there is enough and more to do just with one Schengen visa.
Correct.
Cool. So let's round off now Switzerland. France पे आते हैं. बहुत खूबसूरत जगह है. And Paris. Man, you have to fall in love with that city. What a city. तो बताओ, Paris आप land कर रहे हो Air France से.
Yes.
Again, revenue booking like you said, so that is clear. Where are you staying in France?
So we're staying at the M Gallery Opera
Yeah.
in Paris.
Yeah.
We're just doing Paris. So
Yeah.
that is the itinerary for France.
Yeah.
And of course, the Paris itinerary will include the Louvre Museum,
Yeah.
Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
There are a couple of other, I think, museums that my sister's interested in going. Don't ask me the names.
Are you a history buff as well?
No.
Okay.
No, I am food
Yeah.
and
Let me-
luxury leisure.
Let me try it.
Louvre.
From that, I have been damaged from the day that guy met me and he tried to correct me and on my pronunciation.
Cool. So you're going to France for food.
Yes.
What food do you want to try? Are there restaurants you've made notes of? Are there certain places that you want to have? Are there dishes you want to try? Let's talk about that.
So I am still deciding on some of the restaurants. I want to try, if I can, to go to at least one Michelin guide place, maybe
Yeah.
like a 1 Michelin star.
Yeah.
2 and 3 is a bit way too much.
Sure.
But what I have also heard, I think you guys have spoken on the podcast as well, that you should try, like you don't have to go behind the most well-known cafes. Just walk into any cafe over there, right? And you'll get great croissants and everything over there.
Dude, I am telling you, my experience is very simple. You go to Europe. In fact, I crave those kind of cafes in India. Like, for example, a neighborhood mom and pop cafe.
Yeah.
It's family run. Koi to ladies sitting there making fresh croissants. That's what you crave.
Correct.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like, just stop anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where. And even croissants, like you said, fabulous croissants. Like, everywhere across the board. Like, be it Germany,
वो
be it
गरम
France.
गरम मिलता है यार, freshly baked, जो hot, crispy, उससे वो हल्की सी steam आ रही है. Man, they are buttery and they're dollop delicious.
No, even like the baguettes, like it's crazy. I've not had that kind of. हमारा इंडिया में जो baguettes मिलते हैं, for example, right, baguettes. So they're very hard.
Yeah.
They're really good baguettes. Like I couldn't find that kind of baguettes in India very easily.
Yeah.
Cool. Tell us. So you spoke about maybe a couple of Michelin star places.
Yeah.
But what dishes do you want to try? उसके बारे में थोड़ा बात करते हैं.
I don't really have any set dishes in mind. Yeah. Probably just go there and explore what. Mostly just try sitting at cafes and seeing.
Go
what
figure
are
it
options.
out.
Yeah, go and figure it out.
आप बताओ. आप जब गए क्या क्या खाया, क्या क्या पसंद आया? So you said baguettes, you said croissant. Absolutely. What else?
So my daughter was very small. She's a macaroon puglu.
Yeah.
So like it was jannat for her, right? She entered every color of macaroon possible. Like and so we tried crazy amount of macaroons everywhere. I mean there are like तभी तो I think we hadn't got to Ladera.
Yeah.
We didn't go there because we don't know कि वहाँ we didn't know about it.
Yeah.
But we randomly stopped any place had. So I remember having baguettes. I remember having croissants. I remember having pain chocolat. Pain
Pain chocolat.
Pain chocolat.
Pain chocolat.
A lot of it. Really good stuff. Like the crispy layers, etc. is really good. I don't remember actually eating a lot of gourmet food, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it was too early for in my career to probably spend that much on money. वो सब हमने पूरी किया. वो उसका वो जितना भी रह गया था भड़ास वो सब हमने इटली में पूरा किया. Like I don't even want to calculate how much I spent in Italy. Right? So France में like our journey was very simple. We tried to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
We had like very normal food. Like, but I'm happy to hear from Aadil. I'm sure he has a long list, the yum list.
नहीं आपने you hit the right notes already. So you have to start with the butter croissant, then have to indulge in pain au chocolat. You have to have the baguettes, which are very very nice. But then another thing that Paris is amazingly famous for is your crepes.
Yeah,
which is
correct.
the French version
Yes.
of our dosa.
Yes.
Right? They're served often with either maple syrup or Nutella or chocolate. But you can also have savory pancakes.
Yeah.
And those savory ones, the savory crepes, are like very very good. तो cheese वाला मिलता है, buckwheat galette वाला मिलता है. ये सारे वाले ना like just and they're thin यार, बहुत thin होते हैं, बहुत अच्छे होते हैं. Ham and cheese is very popular there. मैं pork नहीं खाता, so I have not had that. But for those who indulge, it's supposed to be like very very.
So
good.
I remember Eiffel Tower पे when we had gone. Eiffel Tower पे नीचे there used to be the small stalls next to it. वहाँ पे we had a lot of these crepes. I couldn't even remember it honestly. Like मुझे याद भी नहीं आ रहा था. And the second thing which I remember now, one of the most underrated thing that we did probably was to walk across like near Notre Dame and the River Seine. Like super underrated. Like I felt that was the best part of our trip. उस time पे Notre Dame was completely open. I think अभी उसके बाद there was some fire and I think construction is still on. I'm not sure if it's still over, but that was a beautiful experience. The River Seine is super underrated by the way. It's the heart of the city I would say.
अभी हम कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ, अभी तो हम शुरू हुए हैं. There is also the shoe pastry. Or the eclair, as they call it, right? So the eclair is your typical shoe pastry, which has cream inside, and upar there is this nice yum glaze. So you can take either a dark chocolate glaze, but आजकल trending salted caramel है, so you can try that. Again, super yum. Definitely, I mean, if you're going to Paris, you have to try that. The next one is going to scare people, and it's not for the faint-hearted. I have not tried it. I wasn't man enough to try it. It's called escargot. Escargot are snails. And it's not more about the hard structure of the snails. It's more of the butter garlic flavor that people really like. So again, I am not adventurous enough to try it. But my friends tell me it's very good and they enjoy and they've had a good time. Cheese plates.
Cheese.
If you're in France, रात को खाना वाना खा लो. Dinner के बाद ना 10:30 बजे if you're awake. And if you're enjoying a fancy glass of wine, which again I don't, but I would sit with a Diet Coke और मैं एक cheese plate लेके बैठ जाता था with different cuts of cheese. And that's very different. It's like, you know, like very nice, very young. One thing that I have had, which is quite nice, is duck confit. This is slow cooked duck, roasted. It looks like nice orangey. It's rich, it's crisp, really good.
But when you said that cheese part, I remembered also the fact that by our standards, like what the kind of cheese we have, we found even very good cheese in neighborhood stores and just next door stores. Like for example, we stayed at Airbnbs fully in Paris. We didn't take any hotels at that time, and you would just have our dinner was a glass of wine, some cheese, and some bakery. That's what our dinner used to be.
Then there is dessert की बात करते हैं, right? So dessert को तो there is that creme brulee that you have to have there.
Yeah.
Crispy crust on the outside, just nice custard on the inside, super yum. Soups, because if it's going to be cold when you're going there. French onion soup is class, absolute class, like yum. It's very thin, it's delicate, not heavy at all, really good. If you enjoy red meat, steak fries. So I don't know how you pronounce it or whatever. It's called frites. They say, but उसको steak fries सब बोलते हैं. It's largely like a steak and some fries.
What about ratatouille? I mean, that's something I tried. I remember because I was one bowl of ratatouille I had. It was very good. But for us, it was like I remember my wife was like, क्या है ये सब्जी लग रहा है कोई तो यार mixed vegetable सब्जी so.
Yeah. Another, if you are very adventurous, again, I haven't tried this, but for those who are more macho, you can try foie gras. This is again like this is duck, a little bit of liver and all of that. मैंने ट्राई नहीं किया, but वो बहुत फेमस है लाइक फ्रांस में. लाइक हार्डकोर फूडीज इफ दे गो टू फ्रांस तो foie gras वो करते ही हैं. बट मेरे को इतना हिम्मत नहीं हो रही है, you know, ये सब करने की. I
found a huge difference when I went to Italy and when I went to France, right? Indians connect a lot to Italian food, right? Because एक तो हमारा इतना बचपन से वो spaghetti, pasta, like you know, pizza that we've eaten, like you connect to it more because you know most of the things, you heard names. In France, एक तो pronunciation समझ में नहीं आता है. उस पर से like you don't know what you are getting. So I remember one specific incident where we dared to enter a restaurant. We walked out of it because we couldn't know what you're ordering. And it was hard to communicate. Like again, being a first few trips, it's hard, right? I mean, you feel nervous. Like when we went later to Amsterdam, थोड़ा सा practice हो चुका था कि कैसे बात करना है, क्या order करना है. But you know, the first trip it's harder. Like it's not that easy. So be ready to get intimidated on some of these countries. Like मतलब don't feel.
Also like you have to be very particular when ordering, right? क्योंकि वो क्या होता है, ऐसे कभी-कभी ना मेन्यू पे पिक्चर दिखेगा, वो देख के ही बोलेगा यार ये खाना है, ठीक है? लेकिन उसमें वो डिटेल, like for example, I'll give you an example, right? जैसे cockaween. Okay? कॉकविन क्या है? तो तुम वेटर को बुलाओ, वो बोलेगा सर इट्स डक. डक तो अपन खाते हैं तो लेके आओ. अरे वो बाद में पता चलता है कि उसके अंदर दे कुक इट विद रेड वाइन. हम नहीं पीते रेड वाइन. एंड दे विल आल्सो ऐड इन सर्टेन केस हैम टू इट. So for Indians, these are cultural sensitivities, right? So I think like very important that you ask when you go, भाई इसके अंदर क्या है डिटेल में बताओ. आजकल GPT है तो गूगल GPT कर लो तो आसानी से पता चल जाता है. But
Also
double check and triple check कि इसमें क्या है.
Yeah, but there is a cultural difference also, right? So again, we experienced this, we felt it. So people who are going for the first time or maybe even the second time, let's say, you will experience their brevity of speaking. You may mistake it as rudeness.
हाँ, वो उनका
They're
style है.
very brief in what they speak, right? For example, we went to an Airbnb. When we entered, they taught us how to use the dishwasher. And we never used a dishwasher in our life. So we again called her and she's like, we taught you once. And my wife felt it was very rude. And then I came to know as we spent more time there that they are brief. They expect you to know something. They don't understand, your nature of talking a lot, right? So you will experience this. Don't take it as necessarily rudeness. I mean, but some people could be rude, but sometimes they are not rude.
वो स्प्राइट के ऐसा हो गया ना, सीधी बात, नो बकवास. जो लास्ट चीज बोल के राउंड अप करते हैं, यम यम प्रॉफिट रोल्स. These are very very similar to your eclairs, but वो छोटे छोटे होते हैं. These are again shoe pastry, उसके अंदर क्रीम होता है and ऊपर nice decadent chocolate. Try and have them cold. When they're cold, it's just like you put it in your mouth and it's a bag full of flavors. So supremely good. So enjoy your food trip. Send us pictures on the Great Indian Lounge in the Yum Yum channel, where we are all very active. उधर एक हम Paris create करेंगे, and then you can share the pictures there.
Yeah.
What else other than food is your interest? So you said Michelin star restaurant maybe one. Food you want to try. Coffees you will. Historical museums you will because of your sister, not necessarily yourself. A hotel, you've locked in an amazing one, so that is what you're looking forward to experience. Anything else, Delhi Flash?
Not much. Like as I said, I'm more of a leisure traveler kind of a persona. So it's mostly just walking down the streets and enjoying. Because you're staying 5 nights in Paris or 4 nights in Paris, I don't think I'm gonna be out every single day doing something. What the hell?
It's like time flies, man.
But I'll tell you one very interesting thing, because you're staying full Accor, and people should know it, because this difference, my wife experienced it and I have experienced it, because we've done pre-Accor era and pre-points era. Once you get those free vouchers of drink vouchers, there's a great opportunity for you to experience local stuff. So when you went to Italy, for example, to Florence, they would say कि यार ठीक है ये लिस्ट में नहीं है लेकिन आपको एक अच्छा Aperol spritz बना के दूंगा. Talk to them, converse with them. They'll tell you, they'll make something. For example, if you're going to Swiss and you tell them can you make a hot chocolate for me with this voucher, right? Or is there any specific drink that you make here? That is unreal. Those 2 vouchers that you get with your booking is very valuable in my view.
Oh, for sure.
I didn't realize this till the time I thought welcome drink मतलब तुम जाओगे check in पे तुमको एक free में ऐसे शरबत लेके आएंगे. That's what I used to think.
नहीं भाई बहुत अच्छा होता है.
Honestly, that's the same thing I had in mind कि कुछ ऐसा नींबू पानी or like some fancy that
नारियल पानी ऐसा कुछ दे देंगे.
ब्लू कुराकाओ के साथ कुछ दे दिया.
Correct.
ऐसा होगा.
It's not. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, I don't have alcohol, so every time I go to any of these places, I'll chat with the bartender. I'll say, "Yaar, see, look, I don't have alcohol. What can you make?" And they'll say, "Aise." And then I've suddenly figured that orange and coffee is a mind-blowing combination. आपने मेरे को दिल्ली में पिलाया एक बार, right? So I was like, "Holy shit, this is amazing." So फिर that became like a drink. The other thing I have now realized is ginger ale and cola is a crazy combination. Somebody then introduced me to like Diet Coke with vanilla. I was like, Diet Coke and vanilla, how is that a combination? But mind-blowing combination. And all of these are thanks to Accor vouchers. Otherwise, I don't have a lot of soft drinks.
No, and when you go to a new city, they sometimes turn out to be your best friends. So I remember chatting up with that Florence guy. मेरी wife एक itinerary बना के लाई थी. And he smashed the itinerary. He said कि नहीं ये ऐसे मत करो, ऐसे करो. ड्रिंक करते करते वो आधे घंटे में हमारी पूरी आइटनरी बदल गई फ्लोरेंस की. And that was brilliant. So I'm saying chat up. Like this is an opportunity for you to also chat up with somebody local. And because these guys you are a loyalty member, they don't behave as rudely with you as a few other people may, right? When you try to ask so much of information because they're brief and they don't like chatting up. So chat up with them. One thing that has helped me a lot, very underrated benefit I feel, those 2 vouchers. Not only about the drink, but getting that info about the hotel, about what to do, what to not do. Great tool for people, especially who ask itineraries. थोड़ा सा उनसे chat up करो. It's a great idea. To break the ice.
Fabulous. Cool. So you're going to have an epic trip. We covered Paris and France. We covered Switzerland. आपका थर्ड कंट्री कौन सा था जब आप गए थे, उसके बारे में थोड़ा बात करते हैं.
Man, trust me, we fought over it a lot. The initial plan was to do Italy. Then we saw random videos on the internet which says कि it's not kid friendly. वहाँ पे बहुत tourist scams होते हैं, because we were looking at Rome. वो तभी मालूम नहीं था सब Florence, and we glad we dropped it, right? Because Italy deserves its full glory, and I'm sure you'll be also happy about it.
Yeah.
We ended up doing Belgium. Okay, and I'll tell you, from the day I landed in Belgium, by the way, if somebody asks me today, it's a hard choice between choosing my favorite destination between Switzerland, Interlaken, or Bruges, Belgium. So the third country was Belgium, Aadil. We went to Brussels, we went to Bruges, and we went to Ghent. So Bruges and Ghent are twin cities. Okay? Bruges in the day and Ghent in the night. So Ghent lights up the entire, very similar cities. They have canals like a Venice or a Amsterdam. And they have small chapels, very small town feel like Interlaken, but it has its own flavor. Fresh truffles being made in every shop. Our entire trip was about eating freshly homemade chocolates. Right? It is beautiful. If you guys haven't, and by the way, I have shared my Bruges itinerary with multiple people. All I have done is I have created a map on Google Map, and I have marked every damn place with a flag. And whoever has used that has just been super helpful. So if you want that, drop in. I'll drop my itinerary. Very happy to do that. We went to Brussels. Brussels se we took a train to Bruges. We went from there to Ghent. We stayed everywhere on Airbnb. We were disappointed in Brussels, to be honest, because Brussels we thought would be a great place, but we didn't enjoy it much. It's a very city vibe. And again, if you have done Zurich, Paris, it's very similar vibe. Also, I felt that we didn't really connect to the city much. Also, the tourist destinations that are there in the city aren't that great. So we did something called Mini Europe in Brussels, and we didn't like it much. So again, we could have done the wrong places, but we didn't enjoy it much, right? So we had a very good friend living in Amsterdam. He came over to meet us, and we did Belgium together. But again, didn't enjoy it much, honestly. So I would say that if you have few days in Belgium, you can just land in Brussels, but head over to, let's say, Bruges and a Ghent. We stayed one night each, and both were, and I've been to Bruges 3 times. It's that beautiful, right? So strong recommendation. So there is a center bell tower, like every small town in Europe has, and the whole city is centered around that small city tower. And there is a small lake in the outskirts of that town. It's a very small town. You can all walk through the entire town. You don't need any vehicles. It's a very small town. And if you have that, wanting to see a Christmas celebration in Europe, and if you cannot go to let's say a proper Christmas town, this is another beautiful place to go in Christmas. You can plan a beautiful holiday there in Bruges. I mean, that's another destination. What can you probably plan in that city? 3 days is good enough. 2 days just chilling out, eating, walking around, seeing canals, nothing else. And 1 day you can finish all the small tourist destinations. This is the first time in my life I did a tour where they would let you try 30 beers. So Belgium is very famous for its beers. So there are 2 different places for beers. One is where you go and fill your own beer. The amount of time you fill your own beer, that is how much you pay for it. So for example, if you fill for 3 seconds, you pay for 3 seconds. Very unique concept. Love that place. The second is around the lake, there is a small beer place. You get all kinds of beers. It changes every day. I've tried coconut beer. I've tried raspberry beer. I've tried mint beer. Insane place. I'll leave the description maps link for that. And it's amazing. My recommendation to anybody going to Europe, and if you're looking for that small destination to fill up your Europe trip, do Bruges. You won't regret. I mean, that's my strong recommendation. Beautiful. I don't know have you been to Belgium? I would strongly recommend it. One place.
So no Euro trip of Mr. Dhimant Gandhi can be complete without Amsterdam. तो Amsterdam के बारे में अभी असली रीजन बात करते हैं. We all keep taking your case every now and then, but let's talk about the real reason. What did you like about Amsterdam? What all did you cover? If people are going today, उनको क्या करना चाहिए, and why should they look forward to?
Sure. So if you're looking, let's say for example, to reach Bruges, you need to first land in Brussels and then go to Bruges, right? Because Bruges doesn't have direct connectivity. So a lot of times what happens is people are short on time. They want to go from Paris to a proper city and then finish it off and then come back. So if you are on Amsterdam, that Amsterdam is the right choice for you. One, I feel it's far more cleaner and a better place to see the canals and everything than, let's say, Venice. I've been to Venice, I've been to Amsterdam, I've been to Bruges. I would rate Bruges as the most beautiful. Amsterdam as the most functional city where you can actually see a city as well and the beautiful part of it, right? So Amsterdam has 3 things to do. One, food. Brilliant fruit scene. If you feel that Paris is god level for food, I think Amsterdam beats it. Unpopular opinion, but it beats it.
I'll challenge you. I'll challenge anyone this. The best fries in the world. Amsterdam.
Okay, the only place that can probably match that is probably Belgium, but like I would say very close.
I've never been to Belgium, so मेरे को नहीं पता.
I would say very close.
The places that I've gone, the best fries in the world.
So now that you bring that up, if you're on the center square of Bruges, you have this small concept where they will have fry stores. You know Belgian fries, right?
Yeah.
So they will take that small, जैसे हम peanuts खाते हैं, right? And they would just put the fries inside, and they would put the sauces, on top, and like just give it to you.
The magic is in the sauces.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Crazy good sauces.
Beautiful. So I would say Belgium and Amsterdam would be very close. The second thing to Amsterdam is probably try out apple pie. So there's a place called Winkel. I was recommending that day on somebody in the live stream. It's beautiful. I have never eaten any apple pie better than that. It's a very unique. It's more like a cake. It's not like the American apple pie. Beautiful pancakes. By the way, Amsterdam also mixes up the culture where you walk into any place, get the food out, sit next to the canal, and have food. Second is that they do this small non-touristy canal trips where you go there, they will give you a nice drink, slow boats moving around in the canal, and you just enjoy your evening, right? So that's another beautiful thing that you can. I actually found it better than Venice. Venice is very touristy.
Yeah.
Right? If you ask one thing to my wife कि क्या नहीं करना चाहिए Italy, she'll tell you don't do the gondola ride. It's extremely overhyped. The Venetian in Macau and Venetian in Las Vegas has a better gondola ride than Venice itself. I am telling you honestly, right? So that's the museums in Amsterdam are also very good, right? So that's some of the things that I would recommend in Amsterdam. Really good.
Yeah, completely agree on the apple tart. I think वो तो
Apple pie.
Apple tart नहीं बोलते उधर?
I thought it's pie.
अच्छा ठीक है. हाँ,
apple pie, yeah.
I think same. But yeah, love that absolutely. I still feel like fries are some of the best that I've ever had.
Agreed.
There. One of the things that I really like is scoop waffle. So you have 2 thin layers of waffle. बहुत thin होते हैं, delicate होते हैं. उसके बीच में caramel sauce होता है and they stick to each other. So you bite them. You also get them in Bangalore and other places in the world. But they're like packaged food. वहाँ पे fresh बना के देते हैं. It's hot.
Yeah.
And you bite into them. It's crunchy. It's melty. Like really, really
Agreed.
nice. So
Agreed.
those stroop waffles are like one of my favorites.
Again, that's because we're speaking Amsterdam, Belgium.
Yeah.
Belgium ke waffles are also like crazy. We hear about this Belgium waffle as a concept in India, right? But it's nowhere close to what actually you get in Belgium. So Belgium mein, in Bruges, you have this, and even in Brussels, right? You walk around small streets and just stop anywhere. They would have this small square waffles. They will put whole lot of dollop of cream on that, and they would put actual fresh strawberries in front of you. When we went, it was €1. Extremely cheap. These are some of the cheaper things to eat, as compared to the high-end restaurants. So another beautiful thing to try, maybe.
Or तो I think like other than that, I think it's just like एक round type का pancake आता है Amsterdam में. It's like a fluffy ball. Poffertjes, something around those names. I can't pronounce it correctly, but something like Poffertjes. उसके अंदर there is like a center filling. And it's nice. Again, served hot and yum and very, very nice. So I think those are my memories from there.
Surprisingly, the Heineken Museum is very nice in Amsterdam. Like when I went alone, I never went there. When I came,
समझ रहा हूँ मैं.
आप
कहाँ गए होंगे?
When I went with my wife booked it. She's like, "Yeah, you like beer? Let's go." At that time, I should drink. went there. It was a very fun experience actually. Even my daughter was allowed, and we had a fun experience. It was very nice. One more thing in Amsterdam which you should try. Amsterdam has this very unique tea culture as well. So they have this berry flavored teas, the dips. So they're very unique. You will find it in all supermarkets. And again, these berry teas are like local brands, like not the Lipton and all that. I got a hell lot of them with me when I came back. Like very nice flavored tea. If you like tea or if you're a tea connoisseur, get some of those teas as well with you. Very nice. And how can we forget Gouda cheese? Dutch cheese, dude.
Dutch cheese
crazy.
is very good.
They have all these flavors.
Very
they have
good,
green colored Gouda cheese.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
yellow colored Gouda cheese. They have all kinds of Gouda cheese.
Amazing. Absolutely.
You guys are tempting me to make another Europe trip next year now.
No. See, if you ask me today, after all my Euro trips, I think 4 of them, I would recommend having number 1 choice is Amsterdam and Belgium on your list.
खुशी देखो, खुशी देखो. He's smiling.
इतनी खुशी मुझे आज तक नहीं हुई.
Also, I think Amsterdam ka another advantage is that it's also a city where you can work as an individual. It's not like just a leisure city. It's like a city where you work and balance your. So everybody in Amsterdam actually finishes work at 5 o'clock, comes home, spends time with the family. So even the culture is very good, right? In a very good way. People who work for Booking.com, it's a Dutch company, right? So people kind of, I had some friends there, met up with them, chatted with them, and you realize that it's a very nice culture there, right?
So one thing I wanted to ask you guys is, so you've gone to Switzerland, I think 12 years ago, you've gone 6 years ago. What would you have changed? Is there anything you would have changed now that you're into the points and miles game? How would your outlook be on those trips now?
मैं कुछ चेंज नहीं करता. Like I was like जो दिल में था ना सब कर लिया तभी. Like whatever I wanted by God's grace, whatever I could afford from that point of view, जो मन में आया कर लिया. और जो नहीं रहा अभी तो I still want to do Switzerland. I'd love to do it again. But now if I would do it, it would all be like, nicely optimized for points and all of that. Like I would love to stay in Accor given the current status I hold. If I travel, then I'd probably do Star Alliance or Emirates to take advantage again of the statuses I hold. We'll try and optimize around that. Accommodation would be strictly Accor. But now I think I'm more of an experiences guy, like bucket list. Like abhi kya, like what are those things that I'm yearning for, experiences that I've bookmarked and saved. कि ये करना है एक बार life में. Those things I would love to do. So I don't think I'm a guy who wouldn't want to change any experience because I thought like at that time it was the most epic trip ever. Now it'll be a whole different world. I'll optimize for like if I'm going with my wife, it's going to be largely about what are things that matter to her and then personalize and then just surprise and delight. Do something that she will not expect at all and just earn some brownie points to another level. If I'm going with kids, then it's very different. Then you have to optimize for them. Like abhi Japan se wapas aaya. This was a completely kids focused trip. So I think now it would change. Back then it was just like what me and her wanted to do.
Yeah, so I think mine is an eternity old trip, right? So lot would change for me. I think few things that I can top of mind surely say is that one, I would avoid going to Zurich and Geneva fully. Okay. Like for sure, 100%. Like there's just too many small wonders to do, right? So I would spend more time in Interlaken. So if you're somebody who likes nature, spend time in Interlaken, number 1. Number 2, I would stay at Rotterdam. I would stay at Engelberg. I would probably also not try to do too many mountains. I did 5 mountains. It cost a shitload, right? So we did Slithorn, we did Zermatt, we did Matterhorn, we did Titlis, Jungrau. It was hell lot of expense that was not needed, right? So what I would do is I would optimize on that cost probably. Interlaken, I would still probably stay at an Accor property because I have points, but I would still try to stay in a small cozy place in Engelberg, in Lauterbrunnen, all those places, right? So that's something I would definitely change. Second thing I would change is I would also want to see if I can optimize a little bit for food this time because first time I went, I was stingy. and I won't lie because उस time पे budget constraints were not allowing, right? So this time I will be a little more free, not stressed about let's say कितना पैसा खर्च हो गया, right? So that's the second thing I would probably change. Third, on flights, I would definitely want to ensure that I use points this time.
Yeah.
Last time I did not, right? So that's some of the things that I would change.
So how would you optimize flights? Because I'm not sure how many partners will you be.
बहुत आसान है यार, अब तो बहुत आसान लगता है, right? मतलब because you are basically talking about multiple entries into Europe. We covered that in our Italy episode. There are just too many ways. Enter into any country in Europe that probably has a flight giving you great redemption. For example,
Take a train,
yeah,
a 2-hour train.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think the best way to do it in my view is do a Q suite.
Okay.
Take a Q suite, enter into Europe, and जहाँ भी land करूँगा doesn't matter. I'll walk. I get into Switzerland. But that's my plan. मतलब अगर that's the beauty ना, मतलब कि आपको redemption में जहाँ भी point मिला, आप उसको optimize कर लो and take a break.
One lesson that I learned on that trip, on that Euro trip, that I must share with the community is that I was Jet Platinum back in the day, and I had a lot of Jet Air points. What would we call them that time?
Jet privilege.
Jet privilege points. So maybe close to like 1.5 lakh points or something on those lines, right? तो उसमें क्या हुआ कि we took off on Jet Air, landed there. Well, we were going to come back also on Jet Airways. But 2019 is the year.
Shut down.
We've taken off. Next day the airline shut down.
Italy के episode में
We
covered this.
reached.
Yes.
Okay, and within 24 hours, the next day, the flight didn't land because Jet Airways shut down.
Oh, damn.
What that meant now, I couldn't come back because my return ticket was also on Jet
Oh,
Airways.
shit.
Right? And then I was like, okay, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So we waited, tried to get clarity. Jet lifted their hands, they gave no refund. But then we booked Air India using Smart Buy. So
Okay.
luckily, Smart Buy came to the rescue and we burned points and we got it. So technically, that was free. But it taught me a lesson. Those 1.5 or 1.75 lakh points that were there, what are you going to do with them? The airline's gone kaput. Now, luckily, what happened was they rebranded into Intermiles and all of that.
Yeah.
But they were allowing hotel redemptions initially at 1 rupee a mile. So I had come back, and after 2-3 months or something like that, Sanya wanted to go to Coorg. And Taj is a very nice property.
Yeah.
there. I couldn't afford the Taj at that time. So what I was like, Intermiles book kar lete and we'll redeem it. And we took my in-laws and us, we booked 2 rooms and we had a blast. We went 2 nights and we utilized all those points. I still had some 40,000 points left at the end of the day. Then over a period of like the next 2 years, just kept on buying Amazon vouchers at a 5% discount. 250 points. Like you would get a Amazon Pay voucher of 5,000 rupees or 4750 if you use like 611 points or something like that. वो करते करते now it's almost over. The lesson being, when the 150k was there, might as well used it on Etihad and enjoyed a few first or business class flights that I didn't do. That is when my mindset completely flipped to earn and burn. So now if you look at my balance anytime, I'm sitting on literally 0 because my next trip is planned. My points are either burnt. Even when they Accor, you don't see balance on my phone. They're booked for the future, pre-burnt. And my flights are also pre-booked and pre-burnt. So I like to sit like on a very thin balance of almost nothing.
I mean, to add to this, I think I've spoken about it in the past, but again, because it's related, I collected 6 lakh points on Diners Black. And thought ये था कि बस इटली ट्रिप करना है. वो अलग बात है कि जब इटली ट्रिप एक्चुअली करना था वो तभी था ही नहीं बिकॉज उस टाइम में कोविड आ गया एंड आई हैड टू कंप्लीटली डू विद समथिंग एल्स. सो आई डोंट थिंक दैट सो मच प्लान्स मटेरियलाइज. मतलब 3 साल 4 साल का हॉराइजन बन के मत कलेक्ट करो पॉइंट्स. सी collecting points के लिए अगर तुम, that's why a lot of people whom I told that yeah, don't take these programs of buying points etc without having plans. पहले जलाओ. If you have that problem where you don't have points and you have a trip coming, फिर खरीदो points.
Correct.
Like otherwise it's just like too much to do, right? So
Yeah.
So with that, we'll wrap up the pod. Thank you, Dhimant, for converting your nostalgia into travel strategy.
Thank you.
And thank you, Manas, for coming all the way from Hyderabad and bringing the first timer lens. So a lot of people like you are planning their first Euro trip now have a chance of figuring out how do you make it happen. Like you've given the world a reality check on how to save 5 lakh rupees
crazy man.
to travel to Europe. It's unbelievable that all your accommodation is sorted with points. So congratulations, lovely meeting you. Thank you for coming in. And for all of you who've tuned in today, big thanks for tuning in to the Great Indian Points and Miles show. Hope you enjoyed our episode on the Euro trip. If you liked the episode, please like, please subscribe, and please consider joining the Great Indian Lounge. That is where we're having some fascinating and riveting conversations on all things cards, all things points, on things miles, all things hotel loyalty programs, and even the amazing yum stuff. With that, on behalf of Manas, Dhimant and Aadil, this is us wrapping up the Great Indian Points and Miles show.
Lights flashing bright, we're on the go. Tune in now, there's so much to know. Earning bits, travel dreams we sow, all aboard the Great Indian Points and Miles show. Zero to hero in the blink of an eye. Fly first class, no need to be shy. Redemption sweet, touching the sky. Award seats booked, let's give it a try. Award seats booked, let the points flow. It's all aboard the Great Indian Points and Miles show. Unlocking journeys wherever you go. The sky's the limit, feel the travel mojo. Hidden treasures in every flight. Nights in places that feel so right. From deserts to the city lights. Get set, steal those dazzling sights. Miles stack up each passing day. Rewards come back in a million ways. In this game you want to play the Great Indian Adventure, yay! Award seats booked, let the points flow. It's all aboard the Great Indian Points and Miles show. Unlocking journeys wherever you go. The sky's the limit, feel the travel mojo.